A look at the highlights of the preseason AP Top 25. The top 5 has Oklahoma, Bama, Oregon, LSU, Boise, Stanford right behind Florida State at number 7, TCU 14, defending champion Auburn 23rd, and USC, despite being ineligible for bowl games, is 25th. Welcome back to this Inside the Pac preseason special. This is the game coming off one of the biggest seasons in Oregon history, as the largest opener the Ducks have ever seen.
It just so happens to be in the football mecca, Cowboy Stadium. 80,000 fans in the stands, plus millions of viewers around the globe.
It's the last game of the world. It's the Super Bowl.
Not that they needed any more motivation, but gearing up for an SEC power brings a little more oomph than easing into things with the likes of a New Mexico or a Utah State.
Even if it's not a big game, we always come out working hard in training camp, but everybody's also thinking about LSU, and that's amping it up also.
It helps us get ready for our conference games or whatnot, and it should be a great matchup.
Same can be said the other way. LSU's run towards a national title has just as big of an obstacle against the new Kings of the West.
I think what it does for us is probably the most important piece. It gives us a reason to prepare with a real earnest, real want, knowing that we're playing a quality opponent.
15 starters are back for the Tigers that went 11-2 and beat Texas A&M in the Cotton Bowl. But senior QB Jordan Jefferson will not play in the opener, nor the near future. Suspended indefinitely by Coach Miles after Baton Rouge police issued an arrest warrant for his involvement in a bar fight back on August 19th. For the second straight year, the Tigers are breaking in a new offensive coordinator. Line coach Greg Studrawa gets bumped up as Steve Kragthorpe moves down to lead the quarterbacks again after announcing that he has Parkinson's disease.
Obviously, we like to run the ball, and we're going to pass the ball better this year, and that's always been our plan. It's going to continue to be our plan.
The last 2 times the national title game was held in the New Orleans Superdome, the Tigers won it all. It's only 85 miles away from their campus, but the Ducks can put up a big roadblock with a win in Big D.
You got to play the game before you get there, so, you know, we don't know how it's going to be yet, but imagine it.
It's a huge game for us, and this can probably decide whether or not we're going to be good or not this season.
Depending on what happens Saturday, the Ducks could be back on the path to a return trip to the BCS National Championship game themselves. Then things cool down for a couple of weeks. Home with Nevada and Missouri State, the Ducks haven't lost a home game since 2008. They haven't dropped a conference game at Austin since 2007. It's always a tough trip to Tucson. That closes out September.
And then after a bye, it's back home with Cal and ASU, then a cushy couple of weeks stretch there, a trip to Boulder, a visit from the Cougars. November really the separator there, a trek to Montlake, then down on the farm to stand for the real big one. The Trojans come to Austin for the first time since Fright Night. Then the Civil War 2 days after Thanksgiving. And of course, the Ducks hope to be hosting the first ever Pac-12 title game on December 2nd for game number 13. Well, he has the most career games played on the offense. Tackle Mark Asper turns 26 in November. And the most veteran presence on the Ducks is busy both pregame and postgame.
There you go. How many Ducks do we have?
1, 2.
That's right. 2 duckies.
From play calls to Play-Doh.
Push.
Bubble screens to simply blowing bubbles. Mark Asper says family life is the way to go.
Wow, Michaela.
I get in trouble all during fall camp because I come home and I want to play with the kids, and they're in their jammies and they're getting ready to go to bed.
Mark and his wife Michelle have been married for nearly 4 years. First came now 2-year-old Michaela Raylene, and just 8 months ago, this butterball, Macy Lova.
I want them to be as girly and frilly and dainty as can be.
All of this joy was delivered upon the Idaho Falls native after a 2-year mission trip to Spain.
If she'd have met me or known me before I went on my mission, we probably wouldn't have ended up together, because I was pretty arrogant and kind of a snot. Can't. Oh, don't have soft hands. Got lineman hands.
Up until this season, the Aspers felt like they spent every waking hour away from the field and campus fixing toilets and replacing light bulbs.
Oh my gosh, do we need to go back there?
After 3 years of being an on-site assistant manager at a 207-unit apartment complex in Eugene, Mark and Michelle had enough.
Got it. They'd call like Sunday morning. Hey, sorry, my oven exploded on Friday night, but I knew Mark was gone.
Now without a job, The minimal living stipend Asper gets from his scholarship each month is harder to stretch between 4 different plates on the dinner table.
Already? We pinch the pennies.
Relying on his summer savings as a compliance officer for Lane County Parks and Rec, his giving siblings and parents, and some help from local and government programs, the Aspers are making it work.
There's a lot of programs around that help people out that are, you know, low to no income like us.
Depending on how this football thing pans out, Mark could fall back on his master's degree in educational methodology that he is currently trying to obtain.
I'll help you. What do you need help with?
Both. They're stuck on it, and
They're stuck behind the couch because you threw them all behind the couch? Yeah.
For the Aspers, a solid foundation begins at home.
Come up. Hey, get him ready for football.
Hey, cut that out.
Good stuff. Still to come on this 1 hour Inside the Pac preseason special. The fate of the Beavers season rests on the arm and wrist of quarterback Ryan Katz. We'll catch up with the junior.